Hi, I'm Will Cedric.
I'm Gabe.
And this is Inside the Bot. Gabe, we've got to get up to 88 miles an hour.
Why have we got to get up to 88 miles
Because
an hour?
we got to go back.
Oh, back in time. Well, hold your horses. Have you got enough plutonium?
Uranium.
Plutonium.
No, I use uranium in mine.
Do you?
Yeah.
Is that because you're just covering up your own embarrassment? Yes, it is. It's
Is it
always
plutonium?
plutonium.
It doesn't really matter, does
We
it?
just need a little plutonium.
Marty.
Marty, this is the year 1955. Plutonium's a little hard to come by. But it's not. We're going to go back in time. We're going to go. Where would I? And the year is 2015.
15. What?
Now we're future travellers. I want us to rush outside, right? Mm-hmm. Rush outside, shake an old woman by the shoulders, and say, "What year is it? What year is it?"
Right. We'll do that later.
Can we do that?
Yeah, we can do that
I'm
later.
only willing to go. If we can go back in time, you must do that, and then you rush off shouting, "Great Scott!" like that.
We need to do that.
I am enjoying Julie's cake, by the way,
Excellent.
because it's so lovely. So our listener sent in some cake, some lemon drizzle.
Oh, listener, it's my girlfriend.
She's a listener. Is she listening? If she listens, she's a listener.
She listens to the Robot Wars ones.
What? Why? What about the BattleBots?
She doesn't watch BattleBots. It's not come out in the UK yet.
Of course it hasn't. So it's Sunday evening,
A great episode of BattleBots has just been on.
and it's actually the BattleBots has been rebooted, which is awesome.
Yeah, great.
Season 1 on Spike TV, which is exciting. It's got a worldwide distribution.
Yep. And I say to anyone who's maybe thinking this wasn't that great, because they have just watched the Robot Wars final.
Yes, indeed. But this
I'd
is
say, think of that song, Things Can Only Get Better.
exactly.
Because it only gets better from here.
It definitely does.
And this is a good episode.
And
It's a solid episode.
So let's go through the robots, shall we? Let's talk about Ice Wave v Razorback.
Ice Wave Razorback. So Razorback is a gripper.
Well, he says he's a gripper. He's got a bit of gripping.
A grappler. He's got a wedge on for this one.
He has.
He's taken his top bit of grappliness off and put a wedge on.
He has, but it's a fairly poor wedge.
It's not looking too solid.
It's like, oh, we need a piece of metal. Let's put
Yeah.
something on. Strap something onto the front of us. Anything at all.
Yeah.
That's going to help us against Ice Wave. And Ice Wave is a supremely flat robot underneath with a blade on top of it. And on top of that is a thumping great petrol engine.
Yeah.
So it's an internal combustion engine. And
Or an ice.
hence ice. And it drives around at a furious rate, doesn't it?
Yeah. Now we've spoken.
We're talking.
Now we've spoken about combustion engines before. And the main problem is taking an impact.
Yes.
Can it take an impact?
Well, we will see when we talk about this fight
But
in a minute.
For anyone watching, this would probably be the first spinner they've seen. If they're watching in the UK, the first spinner they've seen that looks like this.
Indeed. Now, I've had combustion-based weaponed robots. My main fear in all of these things is not whether it can take the impacts. And by the way, all the robots that I've had that have had internal combustion engines, it's only the last one that we learned how to take an impact, and even then it was pretty slain.
Okay.
My main fear is taking half a pint of petrol in with me.
Yes.
I think that's the real thing is half a pint of petrol.
I think things would be clenched at that point.
Because that's a lot of petrol. If you actually chucked half a pint of petrol on the floor, it would be a big puddle. So imagine drenching your robot with half a pint of petrol.
It's kind of like a ceremonial burning.
That's a big fireball.
That's how that starts. So the fight itself, no worries about burning themselves for Ice Wave because it is hitting pretty hard on Razorback. No issues
Now,
at the start.
I think this one here, the actual blade is... because I don't think the blade's super heavy. It's not really chunky.
It spins pretty quick.
But
though.
it spins super fast, doesn't it? And
They say 300 miles an hour.
And do you know what? I think definitely it probably is achieving that. And it's going at a colossal rate. And poor Razorback doesn't really have much of a chance, does it?
Not really. The wedge comes off.
The wedges, the
whole front really is torn off. The wheels come off. And Razorback's just left like this
it just
pile on the floor.
Leaking bot blood everywhere. And
it's like it's had its face put on the curb and stamped on the back of its head.
Exactly. A bully's come up and just gone, and gone, left me with all his eyes hanging out and everything.
But then Ice Wave is on fire at the end as well.
Oh my gosh. So there's a monstrous lipo fire in the bottom of that. That's what that is.
Is that what that is?
That's a lipo fire.
That's the batteries.
The batteries. Now remember, your battery...
Not the armour.
No. And the problem we've got with that is that everything's underneath. And the only way for to put a lipo fire out is to let it burn. So you can't really do much.
So we'll see how that is next time
There's going to be a lot of work to put that back together.
But it knocked him out. Awesome fight.
Definitely.
What a great one to start on.
Oh.
Seeing a bot just get torn apart.
That is what we are after. That's proper BattleBots, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you see a bot ripped to pieces, like torn open, both cheeks ripped off.
Cheeks.
Teeth. Sorry.
Different bots.
Different type of bot entirely. An English bot.
Fight 2.
Fight 2.
Rex and Plan X.
I meant the size.
Okay, yeah. We all know what you meant.
Rex v Plan X. So Rex
is so weird.
Do you know what? I do love a different type of bot. I love a walking bot as well, if you can make one work. But we all know, so often, walking bots just they're lackluster every time, and they normally get slain.
But I like it.
It's looking cool. Plan X.
It's a big disc with wheels.
It's a huge disc.
I mean, massive disc.
Massive disc.
How heavy is that?
The disc. I reckon the disc has got to be 35 kilos, easy.
So it's like a third of your robot is in disc.
Yeah, a third.
Are they a bit heavier on BattleBots robots?
No, same weight.
Same weight, so
yeah, same weight.
Robot Wars, they are
110 kilos.
110.
Yeah, which is 250 pounds.
So yeah, 250 pounds is what the BattleBots are, and that is 113.398 kilograms.
So English bots are 110 kilograms.
So, pretty much the same.
Exactly. Although 3 kilograms is quite a lot. That's probably like 4 lipo batteries, so, it could be a difference. Anyway, Plan X is a sort of 1950s space robot.
I like it.
It is cool, but...
I worry for it, but I like it.
Now, Lisa Winter has built this one, and she was originally massive in BattleBots when it was Comedy Central.
Yeah, she pioneered the sandpit-based trap and chew
sandpit-based robot, Tentamushi, which was a super famous bot in its time. Never super effective, but obviously an iconic robot of the time, which is maybe not as effective in a fight, but effective in its own self and legend.
Made an impression on our minds.
Exactly. So she built Plan X. Now, Plan X robot is definitely built off a kit.
Is it?
Buy that whole base as a kit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from Robot Marketplace. There's a very bit of thing there.
Why
Robot Marketplace.
Liking Robot Marketplace?
Because I'm after free stuff for them.
Oh, okay,
so,
cool.
Obviously you can buy that kit.
As long as I get some as well.
No, definitely.
Stickers?
They're going to send us stickers.
Awesome.
So Robot Marketplace, they supply kits for robots.
Okay.
They also supply a lot of great robot parts. That's where Plan X came from, the base of Plan X, not the top part, the base. So I don't think you buy a light up brain from Robot Marketplace. That's all
custom made.
And also I don't think they do the mini bots, which I love, that can come out of it.
And the armour's a bit...
Well, it doesn't really have any armour, does
weird.
it? It's got sacrificial...
Are they titanium? Or are they...
No, I think they're all titanium plates, but they're not really going to be armour, are they? Because if they're held on with...
They're more like sails.
They look like sails.
Solar sails.
Which is really cool.
So it is kind of like a spaceship.
No real weapon on Planet
The weapon
X,
is a vertical spinner, but it doesn't seem too powerful. So we'll get on to the fight. Rex is weirdly walking about.
Oh, it starts to perambulate across the... really slow, coming towards you like, oh, I'm going to get you.
And it's just completely outmaneuvered.
Completely outmaneuvered.
And just rammed in the butt.
However, he does accidentally catch Plan X.
Yes.
It's definitely an accidental catch.
He gets a bit of a grinding on...
and rips a whole chunk off it.
That's at the end.
Yeah.
But at the start, there's a bit of grinding against the to say armor.
Completely accidental, really.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he's got much
Coincidence,
control
yeah,
over it.
incidental, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, there's not really much damage from Plan X, but definitely outmaneuvering. And Rex gets flipped at one point and can't. It's another one of those kind of is pulling itself with its disc along the floor, and then eventually gets righted. And there is some late massive damage on Plan X where it rips off a whole half of that armor.
Yeah, but that is so late on. It's like right on the core, isn't it?
Yes, it is big damage though. Like I could have understood if it was a split judge's decision, or even if it had gone Rex's way, you could see there was some massive damage.
Definitely.
But so much of the fight was Rex being outmaneuvered, so control has got to come into that.
Definitely.
And I mean, aggression, sure.
Yeah.
At the end, massive aggression, and damage as well.
Yeah.
And what else are they judging on? It's damage control, strategy,
Yeah.
and aggression. So strategy, not really any. Whereas Plan X, she's manoeuvring around.
And again, I'd say that all the damage on Plan X was accidental from Rex.
Yeah.
They didn't plan to do that. It's just Lisa got in the way. There wasn't any strategy there.
No.
The aggression was accidental, so it's not really aggressive, is it?
No.
It's like me, getting.
It's like if you've got your eyes closed and you're spinning around and your fists are flailing around.
Exactly, and then you get hit, but you hit
and someone walks into it. Are you being aggressive?
No, you're just being loopy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's what they say to me anyway.
Plan X takes that fight. Warhead vs Bite Force.
So the next fight was Warhead and Bite Force. And I'm rubbing my thighs for this one.
I was so excited for this one. So Warhead is the icon of BattleBots. It's the one that they used to advertise Series 1. It's the show. It is the showbot, as it were. And
Built by
Ian Lewis
and
Simon Scott,
who make
Razor.
And if you haven't heard of Razor,
Then where have you been?
and why are you listening to this?
Yeah.
Like, this is for quite hardcore fans, I'd say. But let's be accessible. Razor is, of course, the most successful robot from Robot Wars.
Definitely.
Officially.
Is it?
Most wins.
Oh, is it?
It's the winningest robot.
The most winniest robot.
The
Oh,
most
nice.
winningest. Yeah.
So, whereas Razor is Winnie the Pooh, then Warhead is Piglet.
Because it's not really done much winning.
No, but it's definitely Piglet, and we love it.
It's very arty, and I think people just like to see it because it's very not human.
Animal.
Anthropomorphic.
It's anthropomorphic.
Is that the right word?
Definitely. It's a good word. Now,
I need to Google that.
what's happened with Warhead? Whilst he Googles that, I'm going to tell you what's happened with Warhead. So Warhead has come back from old school BattleBots. It's been sat in a shed somewhere in England.
No, that was the wrong word.
No, that's when a human takes on animals, isn't it?
No, that's when something has human characteristics.
Oh, an animal has human characteristics.
So,
it's anthropomorphic.
Cats are anthropomorphic, the way they
Wear boots.
wear boots. That would work.
So what the hell are you talking about? Let me just... You're ruining...
Animalistic.
You're ruining my Warhead thing.
All right, let's go back.
So Warhead has been buffed up and polished. Now, originally it had a petrol engine driving the head, and that same petrol engine drove the hydraulics for the arms and the tail and the head to move. But
Things have moved on.
Well, they've decided, actually, look, petrol is dirty and we've got too much Bernie with us. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a big fat brushless motor in there to drive that instead. So we save a load of weight, we save a load of space, and we can get a lot more exciting stuff. So that's the upgrades for Warhead this season. Whether the head's going to spin as fast as it did, I'm not sure. But we'll see in a minute. Bite Force. So Bite Force is a brand new robot.
Yep.
From Aptix. Aptix? Is it Aptix?
Aptix Robotics. Yeah.
Aptix Robotics. It's nicely made, all water jet cut, or I think it's water jet.
It's a grippler grappler.
It's a gripper and a puller upper grappler.
And it's got a little wedge on the back.
And it's got bits and pieces on it, hasn't it? So it's got, what I like about it, it's got big jaws that can grab you and then pull you up and over.
Yeah.
However, for this fight here, they've decided, we're going to take our primary weapon off
Yeah.
and put a wedge on, which to me is not right, because you've gone in with your big weapon and you've taken it off because you're thinking it's going to get destroyed. And you know what? Warhead would have ripped it off.
Yeah.
But
And I think what everyone likes about Warhead is they don't hold back anything. They always go with a full primary weapon, just try and destroy the other bot.
Exactly.
And that's what everyone wants to see, right?
Yeah, definitely. So let's do the fight.
The fight? Didn't go too well for Warhead.
So Warhead gets pretty much owned and dominated by Bite Force, doesn't it?
It's not great.
It's driving the wedge into it all the time. It lacks luster in every way. I was expecting so much more from Warhead.
Yeah, and Warhead's kind of a victim of its
Hype.
It's hype, yeah, because it's to kind of come in here and you're...
But the head is slow. It's slow to get to speed.
Slow.
It's not.
Yeah, it's very slow to spin up.
It's slow to spin up. It doesn't have any punch to it because it's not achieving its maximum force. But, to be fair to Bite Force, they are not letting it alone at all. They're all over it all the time with the wedge.
But do you think they've noticed it's not spinning up? So that is their...
Well, no, I think they wanted to box rush them.
Oh, that would have been their plan from the
start. So they're going to box
yeah.
rush them straight away and be all over them. But then you, obviously, to get a spinner, you just don't want to let it spin up. So that's the key with it.
And then the spinner stopped at one point as well, I think.
Yes, it did.
On Warhead,
yeah.
And then it was just pushed about. It was put under the pulverizer. It was really painful to watch. Put under the pulverizer. But Bite Force span it round at the end of its kind of pincers that it had at the bottom. It lifted it up and span it around. It's just, it was slammed it back on the ground.
I was like, oh. If you'd been Ian and Simon, you'd have been...
You'd gone all that way.
Gone all that way, and it's like... And
then got defeated by kind of a wedge.
And then, yeah, but that wedge... Do you know what that wedge is? Probably 15 mil thick hardened steel. It's not going to be taking any prisoners, that wedge. So, there you go. That's what happened.
Refer back to my previous comment about things can only get better. Because...
But if you're a time traveller... You're going to fest out.
Yeah, you're going to love the future.
Because the future is so golden. Let's go on to the next one.
And we have to keep it hyped.
Of course.
Because it is amazing.
No, it's better than amazing. It will make you jump up and down and dance a jig in just your underpants.
Just your underpants?
Maybe without pants.
Oh.
For our American cousins, if they're listening in, even though this is for the English people because it's being shown on Spike, American cousin, pants are... the things you wear underneath your trousers.
That's true.
Not the other way around.
Don't put them on top, otherwise you're Superman.
Exactly. And well, you're right. Why? Yeah, that's strange. Anyway, so weird.
If you're superhuman, you've got time to wash the whole pants.
What do you mean?
The whole trousers.
If you're Superman...
If you're Superman, you can move at super speed. You can wear trousers however you want them.
Of course. So if you're Superman...
You can wash them every day.
You can. But if you're Superman...
And I think to flaunt that fact, he wears his pants on top of his trousers.
But what about... Does he wear underwear underneath his trousers?
No.
So...
Why do we wear underwear? So that we don't get cock juice on our trousers.
No, to make ourselves feel comfy, because if you don't wear underpants, you feel funny.
No, it's easy breathing.
No, because people originally started wearing them, and they just wore trousers, and it feels funny. It
feels funny getting knob juice on my trousers.
Cloth. What happens if you haven't got a knob? Don't leave it.
Lady juices.
Just
get them on your trousers.
Are you putting this in?
Yeah,
this is being cut out. You can't talk about juices from listeners.
You can talk about knob juice.
Disgusting. You're going to have to X-rate this one. Anyway.
It's all X-rated. It goes out at 9 p.m. on a Sunday.
I'm going to talk about them.
Everyone loves hearing about knob juice at 9 p.m. on a Sunday.
I'm going to talk about robots now.
Oh, if we have to.
You can get a special tenner pad if you're an older person, if you have suffered from knob juice. So tenner pads.
Tenner pads.
Look at them online. We could get sponsored by the tenner people.
Have you or anyone else you know got knob juice on their trousers?
An irritating drip.
Irritating drip. Get tenner pads today.
There you go. Tenner. I'm going to get a robot sponsored by Tenner. What?
Are you going to call it irritating drip?
Yeah, that's it. ID. Can we do the robots?
No. I'll have a robot called irritating drip, and it will be Warhead-like.
Yeah.
And then you have one that's like Bite Force called Tenner, and then you come and destroy me.
Or we have a multi-bot, one called Drip, one called Pad.
No, because
and we join together.
We shouldn't join together
and become more powerful. Yeah, because I go into your pants and then I soak up all the drips. And the pad,
so fight 4.
The pad robot's really soft, and he's your armor.
Do you like Deator?
No, that's a terrible robot. People are going crazy for that. Now, Warrior Clan vs Nightmare. So let's look at Warrior Clan.
Fight 4, yeah. Warrior Clan and Nightmare. Warrior Clan is like it's really flat.
Yep.
And it's got a little spinning disc on the back. And I think that powers the flipper as well.
So, yeah, this is a kinetic flipper. So the spinning disc is spinning around, it's got a few teeth on it, and as it spins around, it's got a mechanism that they can let go, and it powers the flipper.
But then the spinner stops at that point.
Yes, indeed. Well, then it spins up again. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very low, very hard to get into, really, to actually do anything to it.
This one's an old school bot as well. So it's been on BattleBots before. Whether it's that exact one, I don't know, but this design
You
is
would
definitely
think,
done.
yeah, they've updated it for BattleBots.
Now, we know that Warrior
1.
Clan are supreme makers of robots. This is Team Waiachi.
Yes.
And they make a lot of stuff, don't they? Which is good quality
They're
stuff.
big time BattleBots winners, right?
And, yeah, they've run a lot of stuff. So they're pretty cool.
But they're going up against another classic in Nightmare.
Exactly. Another classic, Nightmare comes back. Huge vertical disc.
Unapologetically,
But
just a massive disc with wheels on it.
always, if it connects with you, it's going to rip you open. But we've known in the past that it generally falls over. It's like spinning. This is like a real stable, if we went forward in time. No, we don't need to, because Rex, Rex.
Okay.
So Rex is a very unstable robot that has to wear a helmet. Nightmare is like its more stable brother, but it's still on the edge of destroying itself. So it's like,
So they're always saying to Rex, why can't you be more like your brother?
yeah, why can't you be more like your brother? He's
got wheels.
He's got wheels, and at least he can get around a bit.
Or is Nightmare Rex but with stabilizers?
So Nightmare is Rex with stabilizers. There you go.
Think about it.
I think it is. I think you nailed it.
So the fight itself, Nightmare is tearing him apart. He really gets crazy. He destroys a mini bot.
Now that mini bot.
He goes,
No, the mini bot is amazing.
So good.
It disintegrates that mini bot into parts. It's just destroyed.
They
and that was
sweep
also
it up at the end.
They sweep it up. It also had flame, that mini bot, didn't it? So
There's a nice little. I think actually they've gone back in time. It had a bit of a look to it of a DeLorean going off into the past.
It did. Maybe it went back in time. So maybe it didn't disintegrate. Anyway, it got destroyed.
Definitely went over 88 miles an hour.
It did.
So Warrior Clan was taking some damage. It was getting hit. It got kind of munched when it got underneath it. But then it got a little flip on. And then it's game over.
Again, all you need to do with Nightmare is flip him over. He's destroyed. He's barely holding on him just on his own.
Yeah.
He's only just staying upright. So all you need to do is go blow on him and he's over.
Do you know what I think they'll do for next year?
What's that?
To try and self-right.
Do you think?
I've got a feeling.
Yeah. Do you know what? There are laws in time travel. So we're going to have to be very careful.
So Warrior Clan, they got that flip off and it was just...
And it was done. And it was really
Beautiful.
cool. So there's our first one. That's really cool.
We've done all the fights.
We've done all the fights. And exciting.
A great starter episode.
Yeah.
But don't think this is it. Because it gets so much better than this in season 1. And it gets so much better than this in season 2.
Yes, indeed it does.
It goes crazy.
It does. And do you know what? I love the fact that we had an awesome first fight with the Ice Wave fight.
Yeah.
Some massive destruction with a fire at the end. And if that's not robot fighting, I don't know what is. If you don't have huge destruction with a nice fire at the end, what's the point?
It's perfect.
We're going to be back next Sunday.
To talk about another episode of BattleBots
So we'll see
season
you
1.
then. If you want to travel forward in time, you can listen to a lot more Inside the Bots with the other ones as well.
We've got
Please
Robot Wars ones if you want to watch then.
Yeah, but please make sure you've either watched the episode first.
Yeah, it'll be a bit crap if you haven't watched the episode.
And all it is Will wittering about crap and rubbish. So please do that.
Leave Will Bales alone.
Will's Bales.
He doesn't witter about crap.
Oh dear, oh dear. And do you know what?
We haven't met him yet though, so...
No, we haven't met him yet. Anyway, how are we going to finish this one off?
We haven't got any questions, obviously. If you've got questions about BattleBots, season 1,
Yeah.
send them in.
Yeah.
InsideTheBot@gmail.com or on our Facebook page or on our Twitter. You can tweet at us and we'll look at it and if we think it's a good question,
with our questions, we either get furious with you and slack you off, or if there's a question that we like, we'll actually go and find the person who's best aimed at. So it could be one of the robot builders from BattleBots. It could be Greg. So we go and ask them for you, get them on. Or
Greg, the creator of BattleBots.
Exactly, along with his cousin Trey. So we can do that for you. If you want to give us a shout, go for it.
So thanks for listening. I've been Will Sedgwick.
I'm Gabe.
And this has been Inside the Bot.